Okay, we all ready?
Can I get you to here?
Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of June 25th, 2024, called to order at 7:01 PM. I shall establish roll call. Sue Kovas. You told me about.
Present, Ms. Colbas is present.
Dan Scow
I'm present.
and Melissa Wilson.
I am here.
Okay, a quorum has been established.
Perfect, let's roll on. Sorry, we're 10 meetings in and she still can't pronounce my name.
Sorry.
I got a buzz for trouble.
All right.
I'm gonna get it by the end of.
By the end of the
Appointments and new
year.
businesses. Lot 31, Alpine Meadows, Esther Loop, single, oh, that's the one we just, because we couldn't read it earlier.
That's Mr. Pack.
Yes. What do we got going on, Mr. Pack?
Just single.
Oh, can I get you to, yeah, just kind of, at the,
Do I have to stand or sit?
no, you can sit down, we're informal. Have a seat on the chair, you're good. Not on the chair, maybe in the chair. That's why they don't let me out.
Just building single family residential house.
Miss Christine, did we have all the plans and everything been reviewed? Is everything
Yes,
okay?
all the plans have been reviewed. We did meet with Mr. Pack prior to last meeting, and we had a couple of items that we wanted to get addressed. And the items that were addressed were the square footage of the driveway and the square footage of the snow storage and the HOA approval letter.
And we got all
We have
those?
gotten all of those.
Okay.
He's paid all of his fees. He is set.
Fantastic.
So
I like that.
because it needs to be stated, the certificate of placement, which we've been asking for, it's also in the land use development code that if you put your foundation in the wrong spot, we're gonna ask you to rip it out. That's the cheap insurance to get all the documentation to us up front. Just so you know, it's been said, if the foundation is not in the right place, we're gonna tell you to rip it out.
Right, and I have Carl Scherbel that is pinning corners, and we'll have that certificate to you guys as soon as he is done.
Perfect.
Mr. Pack, you don't ever do any shoddy work, so you're good. Yeah. As far as I can tell, anyway.
I hope it stays that way.
I make a motion that we approve the R1-04-24, Lot 31, Alpine Meadows, 395 Astor Loop, the Zinkowitz.
I have a motion on the table. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Perfect. You ready to rock and roll, boss?
Excellent.
I will go ahead and issue the permit and then go ahead and issue the posting. And then,
Fantastic. So we can start digging.
Should be able to, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you got a verbal.
You got a
You got a
verbal.
verbal
Okay.
approval.
Got a verbal?
Perfect. Well, thank you guys for your time.
You really should
Can
have.
we get that in
You really
writing?
should have it in paperwork.
I have excavators mowing right now.
Okay,
so,
well, I've got somebody that's.
I saw
gonna be-
Did you?
they're gonna be doing the posting tomorrow, so
Okay,
you'll be good,
fantastic.
okay?
Thank you guys.
Thank you,
See you,
sir.
Mr.
Appreciate it.
Peck.
Thanks for coming in. All right. Next, we're going to move on to our tabled items. Mr. Adrian Renza? Did we get everything taken care of, it sounded like?
I think we did.
So, hope so.
Yes, I think we did.
Yeah, there were 5 items, we got them all.
Okay, let me just check my note. You're fine. I know that we did, but I've just got my notes here. We got the, I know we got the dimensions of the driveway, the snow storage, certificate of placement. We got that as well? Miss Christine?
As he just discussed.
I was just trying to.
We have a letter from the, oh, wrong one.
Yeah,
A
we
letter
have that.
from the surveyor.
Okay, so we did get it, we're good? Excuse me. Oh, no, we're holding.
Did we update that site plan?
Yes.
Yep,
Oh, perfect, good,
it's in good order.
good, perfect.
Okay. Yep, we got the clean site plan, the venting of the area walls. We got that all taken care of as well?
Correct. A new,
Oh, she's got it, okay.
His
We're good?
plan set is right here
Okay,
on the top, the clean site plan.
perfect.
The items that he was asked to identify was business license for all of his
Subs, yep.
contractors and subcontractors. The certificate of placement is the document
You pass that
there,
back to
and
her
he
so I
will
don't get
have
in trouble for losing
Carl on tap for that. The clean site plan, the venting, the foundation venting to be identified on the foundation plan, mechanical venting in area wells, and snow storage identification, driveway size, needs to be documented.
And he did that.
And they have
Perfect.
accomplished all that.
Yeah, there you go. I don't want to get in trouble for losing that, so. All right, so it looks like we've got everything in order. Thank you so much for getting it done.
thank you.
We're just trying to resolve any issues that we've had in the past, and we're just want to make sure everything's done, so you guys can hold up the value of your home and make sure there's not any issues with it later. I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve R1-03-24, Lot 40, Alpine Meadows, 537 Astor Loop, the Adrian Brunza
Brings that.
project.
I have a motion on the table. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
So you heard what I had to say before?
Yes, sir.
And we have all of our permits paid for and all that good jazz, Ms. Christie?
Everything's all paid for,
Rock
taken
and
care of.
roll. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ready to roll?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, I appreciate
Go
it.
home. My wife told me not to come home.
Well, you know what, you can go have a drink and then just go home tomorrow until it took a little bit longer.
Now you're getting myself in trouble.
Oh, well, I won't tell if you won't tell. Thank you, gentlemen, appreciate it.
Good luck.
All right, our next one, we have Mr. David Byer?
Byer.
Okay. Single David, let's see. And did we get everything? I know we talked a little bit about it, but I didn't get a chance to ask on the plans. Did we get the location of the propane and the utilities?
Yes.
Located and all that good jazz?
I
Yes.
think it's
Oh,
It's not this one.
not,
no.
she's got.
Is that the ones that you've got, Miss Christine?
She's bringing
Yeah,
a new.
he jumped up there too fast for me.
Oh,
There you go. There's all of his stuff. He did come in the other day and bring in the required paperwork.
oh, perfect. And so we've got the dimensions on the backside of the
Backside.
property.
Yeah, that was a
Perfect.
Sherbowl screw up.
That's okay.
So
We're not perfect, so
do you have the? Oh, she's got the.
there's so many to choose from.
Dan, did you take a look at that?
No, but I saw what they had
Propane.
done.
Perfect,
Okay.
Snow storage, dimension driveway,
perfect,
snow storage, dimension driveway, square footage, 20% snow storage of the driveway.
perfect. And we got the dimensions in there for the snow storage as well. I'm just going through my notes already
Yeah,
saying
I
boss.
mean, it's kind of,
It's calculated.
yeah.
And we've got the site plan all ready to roll, as I show
Yeah,
resubmitted
and
site
this
plan.
was your missing boundary.
Yep, okay,
No, this one. No, yeah, that
No, it was the back.
was
that was
that.
back one.
Dan, did you ask for a res check yet? Do we
You
need-
got that.
No, we have,
Okay,
I mean, they can't go, Dan pretty much is asking for that.
okay.
Okay,
And you heard the same statement.
Yep. I use Sherbowl to pin the corners, so it doesn't matter.
Good. Yeah, and I figured you would,
Yeah.
because I sleep at night too.
I'm not going out there with strings and,
Good, good, good.
yeah. GPS works the last time.
Yep. So
I don't know, it's led us astray from time to time.
I'll make a motion to adopt, to approve the R1-05-24, lot number 37, Alpine Meadows, the Buyer edition, Buyer
Residents.
residence. Excuse
We
me.
have a motion on the table, do we have a second?
I will second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
rock and roll.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, this is a much better meeting already.
See you guys.
Good luck.
Thank you, appreciate it, thanks for coming in. All right, next one, Mr. John Diamond.
Okay, hang tight for just a quick sec,
Hold,
please.
please, intermission.
He is on
Oh, that's
a
right, the
Zoom call.
Zoom, that's right.
He's coming to you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you so much. Where's she going? Which way should go? Just move my papers. Hang on, boss.
There's a method to the madness.
Did you need me? Am I in your way? You look like you're having some.
I guess third camera is that camera. That would,
No.
you want me to switch it?
No, it should be on the laptop right
I
there.
write like your 3-year-old. Don't read my notes.
We want to see him.
Press.
Yeah, he hasn't turned on his.
Well, we can come back to him if we need to. Oh, well, there's somebody there.
There. Now he can see you.
Nope, he looks like he can see you.
Or he can see you guys, is what I mean. Can you hear us, Kelly?
Oh, you're on mute, yeah.
So are we on
Oh.
Diamond, John Diamond?
Yep.
All right, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, I can hear you.
okay.
Hello.
All right, so we've got the diamond, oh geez, she's tearing things up here. Are we good now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we've got the diamond residence. Did we get everything that we needed done? Oh, hang on, we're working on it. Are you watching us on the TV or on the laptop?
I'm actually on my phone. Sorry, my laptop is dead.
No worries, no worries. So we're just gonna go through the things that we were missing last time.
Okay.
Do you have that list? Do you want me to read that?
The
list?
window wells, open basement on that one?
Yep, and did I, if I recall, you guys said that they'd changed the window wells and moved them back a little bit?
No, there was no change on them. It's just we needed to show that there was ladders in the
Yeah.
window wells.
Three of them, right?
That's correct. And I believe on the one plan it shows ladders. It's written in there as ladders for the window wells.
Hang on just a quick sec here.
There's three sets.
Oh yes, we're rustling papers, not even on purpose.
You're gonna get in trouble.
Sorry, and I sent you those plans, but apparently they haven't reached you yet through the mail.
We just have a few of them to go through, so we're just checking them out on the plans real quick.
Sorry, guys.
No, you're good, Bob.
Awesome.
I had a momentary lapse.
That's all
They're
good.
there.
Oh, hey, there they are.
Here we are.
We got them, we're good.
Awesome.
Okay. Oh, yeah, well, everybody gets a son.
Everybody gets a copy.
All right.
Okay, so the items that were identified were window wells are in the setbacks. They need to be moved out of the setback area. Dimension of the property line needs to be identified on the site plan. Certificate of placement, power locations, overhead power from power pole connection identified on the site plan. Driveway side needs to be documented on the site plan. Snow storage identification, snow storage retention locations, have the storage number identified on the site plan. Ladder for window wells need to be identified on the site plan. All contractors to get Town of Alpine business license before starting the project. Kelly with Envision Homes already has his business license, and so he'll be in charge of making sure that all the other, since he's a general, be in charge of getting all of those.
Okay.
We had a conversation about that earlier in the week.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
The retaining wall, is there any?
Yes.
Are there any drawings for it in here?
I'm sorry, what'd you say? I could barely hear you.
Are there any drawings on the retaining wall? We just noticed that there, it just mentioned a proposed retaining wall in there, and I don't remember seeing that before.
So they put a proposed one there, and as I looked at the site, I mean, I don't think that we were gonna need one over there. It's just, that's how they drew it up when they came out and did the plotting of the property, the architects.
Okay,
When I went over there, to me, there's no need for one. There's not enough up or anything there, but to require one, I don't think.
so I'm going to make this call, I assume, that before if you do end up having to do a retaining wall, we are going to require some of the specifics on what that's going to entail, how tall, all of the dirt work and all of that good jazz as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure,
Okay.
for sure.
I'm trying to find,
And we're not opposed to doing one if we're needing one there. That's not a
Okay.
problem.
well, your grade, the grade goes from the front of the house at 566, and the grade to the back of that, well, that's 10 feet.
Oh,
It is 10.
You got a 10-foot slope line here.
Okay.
So,
Well, we have no problem putting one in. That's not a problem with
well,
what's on that site plan.
I guess the question I have is the retaining wall going in before the foundation? Or is it?
Yes, yes. No, it would go in before we did the foundation.
Okay, so we would need that. We're gonna need all of that material. We're gonna need to know
Okay.
all the specifics of that.
Okay.
And the way the grading is set, and I'm just kind of looking at the house. 69, it's so hard, because the house,
Is that, plan set any better?
he doesn't have any, the grading drawings,
yeah.
the grading conduits aren't here.
They're on the little guys.
They're on the
It's
little
this
guy.
Yeah,
So if we say,
I thought I saw it on a different page.
yeah, they're on the second page.
I think it's better to read them.
Yeah, I think that's what Sue's saying.
It's clear on the last page.
Yeah.
You could see the elevation.
yeah, I mean, you
clearly.
are, we call it 6A to
Yeah,
76 on the backside of the retaining wall. And
uh-huh.
there's a substantial cut.
Think you're gonna need a retaining wall.
Nope, and that's totally fine. That's why they put it in there.
We're gonna,
Yeah, I need to see the structure for that.
yeah, we're gonna have to see, I apologize, we didn't catch the fact that you had a retaining wall on there before. And especially if you wanna put that retaining wall in before you do your, foundation for your house. Yeah, we're gonna need to see the specifications on that, unfortunately.
Okay.
That's gonna have to be engineered.
Yeah,
Okay. Is there anything we can move to where I can at least get it to where we can start possibly clearing the area over there? I mean, I can get all that stuff to you by first of next week with my guys out there.
as far as clearing the area, do you mean just like
Great.
removing like the sagebrush and all that good jazz?
Yeah, I got a ton of trees and stuff, but we just got to get that area open to where we can dig over there. It's pretty overgrown through that little area. That lot's
It
been
is.
vacant for I don't know how long.
Yep. I mean, I don't see a problem with clearing the trees.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
clearing,
I don't
rubbing.
have a
You're not gonna
problem.
get an excavation permit. You're not gonna get any, that's the only thing that we would,
Yeah.
and you don't need a permit to clean clean
Okay.
and rub a site,
Yeah,
but
and we have, our next meeting is pretty quick too, so,
2 weeks.
yeah, it's
Okay.
not gonna be, it's not like it's gonna be another 4 or
Yeah.
5 weeks, so.
Yeah,
We'll be
that's-
back on July 9th, so that'll give you some time to clear off the property and give you some time to get us your, information on your retaining wall.
Okay.
Gosh, I am so sorry, we should have caught that before.
No, you're totally fine. I understand. I understand that it's a pain in the butt sometimes.
But yeah, as far as I mean, we're gonna have to table this for now, but I am okay with you going on the property and clearing it off, just so you can have an open area, so you can get your site plan and everything done, and your your stakes in and all
Okay.
that good jazz, and then that'll give you some time to give
Awesome.
us your information on the,
Okay. What about everything else that was on, that we had on there? Did I get everything? Is that all good? We need
I
anything else other than the
believe
retaining wall?
so.
Only part that I did not see is the note for the ladders.
Oh, did you catch that, Dan? Just didn't see the notes for the ladders for the well? Or for
It's,
the-
on one of those, structural pages, it lists right on the well, it says ladders on the new ones that we just sent over. I don't know if I move my phone up, if it's gonna end it. Okay, we're good. I can probably pull it up here too and tell you what page it's on.
I don't see it.
I'm not, I'm trying to scan through this.
Is it in the general notes or is it in a drawing?
It's in the drawing.
That's what he just sent you.
I don't see ladder. I see the wells. I don't see ladders.
So if you go to the architectural, you'll look at all the wells, the ladder on every one of them. It's on the very first page.
I'm looking at the last page.
There's just, we didn't see any notes for the ladders to be in there, though.
I saw it.
Oh, did you?
saw it?
Christine said she saw it, so we're working on it.
Hold on, we're looking.
Yeah,
Highlighted it in yellow.
You highlighted it?
yeah. I know there was 3 files I sent you. One was architectural, and one was, I can't remember the other, but there was 2 other ones. But the architectural one doesn't have that listed on there on that first
It's on a
page.
small page.
It'll be on the 3rd picture to the right, and it says ladder in each one of the window wells I'm looking at right here on the basement drawing.
On the basement drawing, let's take a look.
This is.
The footing and foundation for this? It says on the basement.
I don't have any.
It's on the, it says unfinished basement plan, on that part of it. So you have the unfinished basement, the main level floor plan, and the upper level. On that section there, on the, that says on the basement one where the window wells are placed. And all 3 of them say ladder on it.
Right here.
Oh,
Oh, well, this is another.
Dan covered it up, I'm sorry.
No, you're good, you're good.
It's not like we don't have 15 sets of plans
I was
here.
like,
She saw it.
Oh, there's a ton of them, I know, that's a crazy set.
Okay. Oh, no, I just didn't see them. We'll just need to make sure we get those added to the big plans as well, if that's okay.
Okay,
Okay.
nope, not a problem.
Okay.
All right, I make a motion that we,
Oh, hey, let's just double check that, my notes now. Now that you covered up my notes too. Square foot of snow storage, we got all that. Okay, looks like we got everything off my notes.
okay.
Keep in mind, this is already on the tabled items list, so let's
So-
specify exactly what you're looking for.
So, we're gonna have to still keep this tabled until we get the drawing
wall.
for the retaining wall.
Retaining wall.
But with the condition that he can go in and clear off his property.
Correct.
Okay, so I will entertain a motion to, do we just table this again, or?
No,
can we-
it just stays on the tabled
Stays
items.
on the
Okay.
table items.
But
Okay. We'll get
I
clarification.
would like you to identify what you're specifically looking for.
Okay, so specifically what we're looking for is, we need to make sure we get some solid information on, engineered information on your retaining wall due to the fact on
Okay.
elevation of where you're gonna be. And we're gonna
Okay.
keep this on the tabled items, and then,
Okay.
let's make sure that, and just for clarification as well, you're more than welcome to go on the property and, clear it off, get everything all ready, so that maybe, or not maybe, but when you're approved next couple weeks after our next meeting, then you can continue to move forward,
Okay,
if that works for you, sir.
yes, that'll work, I appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you so much. I'm sorry you had to Zoom, but I'm glad you were able to make it.
Oh, you're good. Would I be able to do Zoom on the next one as well?
Sure.
So I don't have to drive all the way out
Yeah,
there?
absolutely.
Definitely.
No
Awesome.
questions about it.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you so much. We appreciate it as well, sir.
All right. Thank you. You guys have a good night.
You too, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we can move on to the next tabled items. Mr. Jason Higginstaller.
I got it.
Retaining wall. Thank you, sir.
I think the only thing we're waiting for is the driveway square footage and the snow storage, right?
Oh, and clean up the, do we have to clean up the drawings or something? I just wrote down clean up the, and I didn't get to finish my thought
I
apparently.
sent 3 new pages.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I have another one too.
Where is it? Do you have it
She
Oh,
does
let's
have,
not- Let's get more.
handy?
yeah, sure, let's just throw some more pages on the table.
Come on, Eric.
Fine.
You should bring more. We're about cutting down trees.
Yeah,
And I met with Eric, and we kind of went through what he needed, and he was
Perfect.
totally understood. And I said that if he put that stuff on the plans, brought it back, I didn't see it was a big issue.
okay,
You also understand what we were talking about here at the very beginning,
Yeah.
the certificate of placement, if it's not in the right spot, the insurances, you get that all staked and marked.
Yep, Sherville's coming to mine also, so.
Fantastic.
nice.
It's the
Busy
best way to
man.
get it.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so
Great.
I will entertain a motion. Oh,
Do we have anything else there,
We can
Christine?
see.
Do we have anything else? Permits
do
been
the
paid?
continued discussion.
That's all
Nope,
I
he just
had.
needed driveway dimensions and snow storage dimensions,
Yeah.
and then he was complete.
I make a motion to approve R1-07-24, the Hugginstaller Residence, Lot 3, Grays River Village, number 2.
I have a motion on the table. Do I have a second?
I will second that.
Any further discussion? Payments and everything been paid, Ms. Christine?
Yes, everything's all taken care of.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Rock and roll.
See ya.
Can I
Have
Thanks for
fun.
playing.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
Are you, what kind of siding are you gonna be doing? I'm just sure.
Wood and metal.
Wood.
Like a metal wainscot and,
Okay.
wood.
Okay,
I'm not sure what the finish is yet.
okay. Sounds like a plan. Okay,
Yeah.
there you
Great.
go.
Congrats.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I take these?
And good luck.
Yeah, we don't need them.
Christine said she had a set, right?
There is-
They're just
Yeah, you
somewhere.
take the ones that you just brought me,
Okay.
that you just put down, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
don't,
then I'm gonna have, Melissa sign everything, but you'll get a posting and stuff like that, and then Dan will deliver your site copy plans to you.
Okay.
So,
Not me.
All right.
not that Dan, different.
Yeah, Mr. Halsted.
Mr.
Yes.
Halsted.
All right.
Thanks.
thanks, Eric, appreciate it.
I doubt I'll be digging tomorrow, but I'm gonna try.
Okay, there you go.
All
Well,
right.
they sell shovels.
Yeah, I might be running one of those.
We're not 20 anymore, we don't have to run shovels.
Corners.
God gave us hydraulics for a reason.
Have fun.
Thank you.
It did give us hydraulics for a reason, to fly airplanes.
That's it, yes. All right, and so we're gonna keep on, we're gonna keep tabled Mr. Solomon's until he gets back to town.
Yeah,
Okay,
due to an emergency. And
Family
again, I did go over there.
Yep.
And we do have a clear understanding. Unfortunately, an emergency took precedence, so.
okay, and it was brought up at the town council meeting about the liquor license. I did specifically ask them to make sure that we had everything in order before they approved said liquor license, before we can just let them
And just for the record, it's a restaurant liquor license.
Pardon me,
It's not a
I didn't
full-
realize.
It's not a full.
Restaurant liquor
Yeah,
license.
the population doesn't allow for a full.
Okay, I apologize. I guess,
Yeah.
well, not I guess, I did not realize that there was two different kinds. That
And
makes
it
sense.
has gone through state review. There was one item that was identified on his liquor license, and that item has been corrected, and that information has been sent back to the state. And so,
Okay.
again, we're just
Good.
waiting to hear back from the state.
Okay, all right, plugging right along.
Plugging right along.
All right, discussion correspondence, Mr. Lasher, Townhomes. Think we got all the paperwork and everything ready to rock and roll?
Mr. Lasher?
Oh, it's Chris's iPhone. Hi, Chris. Oh, there he goes. He was there, now he's
Oh,
gone.
I just wanted you to sign
What
in.
happened?
I didn't do it. Oh, there he is.
All right, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir, we can hear you now.
Yes.
You have your.
Okay,
Chris, awesome job on the drawings. Thank you
Yes.
so much for getting them.
yes.
Oh,
Is Ansel in on that too?
hang on,
Yes.
Ansel.
She's here. Just hit that little X.
Yeah, but we're missing Mr. Lasher now, so
No.
you're up.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
No, we're good.
Nope, we're
We're
good.
good.
I just couldn't see Mr. Lasher, sorry. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for getting the drawings. We really greatly appreciate it. We've got all the drawings. We're all ready to rock and roll. Were there any questions? Everything's all good?
We met with Craig, this afternoon. He reviewed everything. Was happy, was pleased with the drawings. He'll be the one doing the inspections. Even the fire chief came over to take a look, and so he was happy. And, you got all the stuff, so,
Yeah, you're good to go.
I think we can make a motion to approve, a building permit for, I don't have the legal,
Oh,
The legal list.
here it is. R2-01-24, the Christopher and Christine Lasher. It is the multi-unit residential, at 334 Meadows Drive, Lot 4, Grays River Valley.
All right, we have a motion on the table. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Everything's ready to rock and roll? Okay, well, yes, ma'am, all in favor?
Okay,
Do we have
so,
a-
Wait, I have one question.
you go ahead.
Are the permits posted for clear viewing? Because I think last time I drove by, they weren't.
Right, no, but they will be. So I initiate those the day
Okay.
after the meeting, and
Okay.
then my residential building inspector goes out and posts those for me.
Perfect, okay.
So I will create those in the morning, and to get those done. My question is, he has his cease and desist order, so we've effectively approved his permit, so now we can go ahead, and obviously, he can move forward with that tomorrow morning, even though I might not be able to pull that off. I just want to,
Okay, do we
Make
need
sure.
to make a motion to remove the cease and assist, or are we good
Not
with
if we-
just approving this permit?
I think we'll be fine. If you want to make a
If we
motion.
approve,
No,
no,
I'm
well, if
good
we
with that.
approve the
Just to make
permit,
sure.
I think
Yeah, we
that.
approved the
mute-
permit,
Signals
that's
it.
it, yeah.
All
And I
right.
just, we've got him on Zoom, so I wanted to make sure that he knew that that will be,
Did you copy that, Mr. Lasher, Mr. and Mrs. Lasher?
Okay.
Okay,
okay.
I think so, yes. Okay, so we have a motion on the table, it's been seconded, any further discussions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Go out, rock and roll, ready to go?
Thank you guys very much.
You bet, thanks, guys, appreciate it.
See you soon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. So, oh, you want your laptop back on? All right.
This is the
thought
fastest
he paid
meeting I've
already.
ever had.
Christine, I thought he paid already. So are we ready to continue? Any public comments or concerns that we need to talk about?
I see that you've come to 2 meetings. I have. We're glad to see you.
That's a great man right there.
Do you have any issues, any comments, any? Okay, good, we like that.
He's a concerned citizen.
He's a concerned citizen of Alpine Meadows.
We need more concerned citizens involved in these meetings. If we want to keep having positive growth.
Oh, all right.
Pat, you got anything?
Yes, ma'am.
Actually came for last year's project.
Oh.
but,
Oh.
I want to have an informal discussion about another project if we have time for it at the end of all the other agenda items.
Well,
We're
we're
done.
actually,
Yeah.
we're
You're at
up for
public, we're at public
comments.
comment.
We're up.
Comments
You're right there right
now is
now.
up.
We're there.
Or read,
This is
Yes.
the perfect time. Come on up and grab a
It
seat.
depends, yeah.
Just put your papers on top of mine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
good. Is, the fire chief isn't.
No.
No, not usually, no,
I
ma'am.
spoke with him briefly, but, it basically seemed like I needed to come up with a concept plan to discuss this with you.
Did you sign in by chance? Do we?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I put one close to it, then I closed it.
Oh, you did?
Yes, ma'am.
You kind of need to be directly in front of you.
So just to orient you, this is the lot, there's 3 lots here that are owned by Jade Buse, Jade's Plumbing and Heating. Lot 26, a few years ago, I think 2018,
If
he developed,
want to use this as a reference, he's right here where a fourplex is. He owns this adjacent lot right here that faces Wooden Spur Drive, and then 367 that also faces Wooden Spur Drive. If you look on this map, you can tell that 30 and 31, right, Rachel, are R2 lots.
yes.
One,
This one.
2, and 3.
Yeah, where
I
are
think
they?
it's these 3.
It's this one, and,
He owns
well,
3,
that's
right?
about, yeah,
Right,
that's,
Rachel?
He owns those 3 lots,
Yeah.
and 26 he already developed. So the middle lot of the 3, which is number 30, it's got a funny shape like a frying pan. Yeah, there you go, check mark. The Nike swish. So that's the one he's looking at developing next.
I had
And,
I had a lot very similar to that.
It's a tricky one.
Yeah.
In a number of ways. And I've noticed some of the concerns that were brought up during last year's project, and those are gonna be relevant here as well.
My guess is the fire.
Yeah, the fire
Access.
code is gonna be a big deal because, when you try to access from either side, he wants to come from the upper side, from Sawmill Road, come through his adjacent property and access the top, like the grade falls here, so we'll have access to the upper units here and access to the lower units here off of Wooden Spur. So as you come from either side, 150 feet gets you to about here and about here, so it doesn't like cover the whole building. There is a provision in the code, and this would be up to the fire chief, it says, he's authorized to increase the dimension of 150 feet where any of the following conditions occur, and the first condition is the automatic sprinkler system. So,
Rachel, I'm just looking at this, why doesn't he combine both lots? Why doesn't he just combine 30 and 31? It's gonna be, it would take all the stuff out of the equation for you.
you would still have the distance from the property line.
Sure, but it's less of a deal if both of those are combined,
How so?
because you won't have the same setback ratio. Because right now, you have you got two other setbacks you have to deal with. Now you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see the side setbacks,
You
right.
see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
you get more room in the middle. It would, I'm not telling what to do, I'm just saying, it would make sense for me, because the only thing that 30 would ever be able to use is if you want to access from, which is the west side from
Wooden
here
spur.
and coming across, you would end up, it's, the only way you're gonna get out is through that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely ask them if they,
That makes
if they
way
wanna
more
go
sense.
that direction.
Yeah.
It does,
I mean, it increases.
it increases the buildable area because it reduces the setbacks, yeah.
Correct.
Sure.
What do you think, Kristen?
I mean, I guess the only thing, let's say he one day wants to like sell that as a separate lot, then that would kinda encumber it a bit.
So, he's already built on lot 26, he's
Yeah.
got 30 and 31. If you abandon the lot line in between 30 and 31, like Dan said, that'll give you more buildable space and not have to worry about setbacks. What type of ratio are you thinking that you're gonna implement there? You gonna put a duplex there, or are you gonna?
Right now, he's thinking about doing, 8 units with a total of 14 bedrooms, which requires 20 parking spots.
So,
Yeah, I think
It's
that
a lot of,
probably-
it's a lot of building on a small piece of
a
land.
lot of building on a small piece of land, if you eliminate that one lot line, that'll
Yeah.
help you achieve your parking, and then your parking is, your snow storage is dictated by your parking. So you're gonna have to have that, I mean,
So what ratio are you concerned about most? Because I'm looking through the LDRs and I'm trying to see, obviously, we
I'm
know
not,
that
I
we
just
need.
was curious as to what it was gonna be because of the size of those lots.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as I understand the LDRs, like, we're concerned about setbacks, we're concerned about not paving within 5 feet of the setback line.
What do you-
We're
what's the
concerned
scale?
about
What's the
parking.
scale from here to here? I mean, I'm just curious.
Let's see,
Are
I
they
mean,
separate buildings?
yeah, these are separate,
I mean, I'm just looking for length. I'm just,
let's see, each of these parking spots is like 9 feet roughly, so.
Is it gonna be a similar building to then what you guys previously built on lot 26?
It would be bigger, like that, the previous lot was 4 units that were each 2-bedroom. And so he had a total of 8 bedrooms, and maybe that topped out at about 4,000 square feet. I think this would be closer to 8,000 square feet. I mean, this is like, we're in the beginning, and they're definitely like chewing on like, what should we do? Their experience in trying to build employee housing is that, the 2-bedroom units aren't always desirable. Often you've got like single people that just want their own unit, and then sometimes you have a small family that wants a 3-bedroom. So they want to do just more of a mix this time, instead of just the 2 bedrooms. So, looking at the setbacks, looking at fire code, looking at parking, looking at all those things, height as well, and just trying to like puzzle it together and, see, is this feasible on this lot? And, is it realistic, or, maybe your suggestion kind of loosens things up a bit. As I'm looking at now, like, it's doable. There's quite a bit of room for parking, especially because you've got this like big, what's it called, easement in the back in the south that they share with the town there's a water line that goes through that easement.
You said the buildings are sprinklered?
That's the intent.
that's,
Okay.
yeah.
Because of the IFC.
There's a number of reasons.
I think it's
So like,
cheaper.
Yeah.
It can go either way. Some people are like really reluctant to install sprinkler systems because if they go off accidentally, you get water damage, that kind of thing. There's definitely a lot of ways that the code loosens up if you do use a sprinkler. Like, if you're separating these with a firewall, it goes from like a 2 hour to a 1 hour. If you install a sprinkler system, there's a lot of things that are easier.
For me, Rachel, it would almost be nice to see the lots put together and look at the easement on a big plan and not cut, you know? I mean, just seeing it on a bigger format.
It was kind of last minute thing, so I've got my little 8x11 printer at home, and that's what we
Sure,
got.
I mean,
Oh, that
I'm
totally
just,
makes sense, yeah.
you know, not having the lots, the dimensions, having, I mean, I'd say that the greatest benefit to you by getting rid of the one property is you just got more room to work. That's the only thing I could see. Because I see what you're doing, and I'm like, wow, you're gonna shoehorn a lot of stuff into one little.
Yeah. And you know, they might get their eyeballs on it and kind of back down off of what they intend, but it's fits more or less.
So you
One-
said 8 units
Yeah.
for 14 bedrooms, is that correct?
Yeah, it's a mix. Like imagine the lower are. I mean, I can walk you through some floor plans, but these are like nowhere near final.
Yeah, but no, I just was making a note. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure I had my,
The lower would be 4 one-bedroom units, and those would be access off the lower, off of Sawmill. Sorry, off of Wooden Spur. Another thing that's important is like, you know, we need to get a topography survey of this, but when I do like a back of the napkin look at that, it's about 5% grade. So as far as fire code, they're usually fine with anything under 10%. So I think, you know, for fire access, we're okay there. It's just like, if you have to insert one of those turning Ts, that gobbles up like
So much.
a third of the lot, right? So that's the biggest thing is, you know, if the fire chief is comfortable with allowing, you know, you to stretch the hoses a little bit because you're fire sprinkling the building.
But if it's more than 150 feet, and he
It's-
can't turn.
There's a provision in the code that the fire chief can allow it if they're sprinkled.
If you're sprinkled.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
It's coming in this way.
These are
From
rentals,
this
so
property.
So-
sold.
So she's coming across here.
Oh, they're gonna hang on to them. I mean, I think there could be a day, you know, 20 years down the line, where they condominiumize them or sell them. But
Yeah.
for now, they're gonna
Rental
own them.
properties.
It's just, it's hard for me to see what this looks like with the plot.
so Rachel, my question to you is, you're going to access the upper units
Mhm.
off of Sawmill going through
Going
the
through lot 26.
existing
Yep,
development.
yep.
So is your intent to, even though I know he's the property owner
He would
for
grant an
both,
easement to himself.
is he gonna do a shared agreement on that, or an easement through that, or would another potential be to abandon that lot line?
I think it would probably grant an easement to himself. That to me, like, leaves your options open. I mean, I
And
haven't,
if you
like,
wanted
this is
to-
kind of
yeah.
personal for me to like quiz him on, you
Sure,
know, what's
sure.
his intent down the line, but I would think that he could, you know, later sell one lot and hold on to another.
Okay.
So I think that there's probably more advantage for him to grant himself an easement.
Sure,
than
I mean,
to
I
combine the
get
lots.
that. I get that too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you want me to like walk you through a little bit? I know it's small, but
I'm just looking at the potential issue with the fire chief.
it seems like there's a little latitude in there where, you know, it's at his discretion, and I would think the biggest thing that he's concerned about is, you know, how steep the access road is. We know the top one is pretty flat, and the bottom one's gonna be definitely under 10%. Just the fact that you're getting it from both directions, it's actually pretty good access. And, you know, it gets a little gray for me. I would almost like hire a fire consultant as to, you know, whether the sprinkling system is a residential system or a commercial system. And there's a big difference in the amount of water flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you're tapping onto town water, so it's not like you're concerned about storing water. I've definitely had projects where, you know, the amount of water that needs to be stored in order to initiate the flow for 20 minutes or whatever it is like a lot of water. And a
No, I
residential
mean,
well often can't,
Town's
you know,
got plenty.
carry it, but the town has plenty, like you're saying, yeah. What, are there tap fees? You know, like there's a sewer tap fee and a water tap fee. Is there a tap fee for fire sprinkler?
Oh, I can't answer that.
That's part of the gallons per minute that you required, so that they'll tell you, you know, is it, you know, are you gonna run an inch and a quarter, are you gonna run an inch and a half, or are you gonna run a 2 inch?
That might be a 2-inch line for a sprinkler system, yeah. Oh, I see, so in that way.
So he's coming across here. And the way she's got this drawn.
So it's gonna come this way and this way.
Yeah.
Up, yeah, lower.
Do you have that
Upper.
diagram? I'll try to like
It's
draw on
underneath
it
her.
a little bit.
Oh,
Miss Christine
sorry.
has it.
Here is the active Town of Alpine pipeline easement. So that really does kind
What's-
of eat up
A quarter of that,
quite,
a
quite,
third of that lot.
quite a bit of his 2 lots here and quite a bit up here.
What's the zoning on this?
R2. Both of them.
I'll definitely pass along your suggestion to him. It's not out of the question. In terms of like building code,
136.
the building code is concerned with like the proximity of one building to another. So even if you vacate the lot line, I don't know if it has a big effect on, let's say, how the building code sees.
Well, the only piece that I saw is the access for the fire to come through and around. That was the only piece that I saw. It was like, how does the fire truck come in and how does he get out?
He backs up, and so the intent is like if they have to go more than 150 feet, you don't want them to back out. You want them to be able to turn around.
Right.
But those turning tees, like, I don't have it drawn here, but that turning tee just to scale is like
Yeah,
that
it's
big.
out of hand.
But
Yeah.
I mean, if you came across here,
He stops here, and then he backs out. Could he come around, possibly?
Yeah, and
Possibly.
that's what, I mean, I'm just looking at it as an ease.
I'm guessing that this area here is gonna be a little too steep, but
I was
we
gonna
could-
say,
we could study it.
there's a
Yeah, and I
steepness to
don't,
that.
I have to
Study it.
see it, you know, I have to stand there and look at it, but
Because this is on the upper
correct.
part of the embankment,
Yeah,
and then
just-
it's sloped, and then
I haven't
it's,
spent enough time
slopes
in
down.
that part of the town.
I think like these are some topos that I eyeballed a few years ago. Again, I would want to get a proper topo study done, but that gives you a sense of you know, how it falls. That might work. And especially, you know, let's say there's been concern about how close you can get with a pavement to the lot line. Well, you know, maybe if they can straddle the lot line with that road, then, or at least go right up against it, that alleviates it. Yeah. I actually
So
like
we're-
that because they can
Yeah.
like push the snow downhill.
Yeah.
Right here, I'm
Well, that would
showing
be
you would like
good.
push the snow uphill. So if this
keep-
were the access, then you could, you know, this could be your snow storage here.
Where's the snow go?
She's got
Snow's
2 red
here.
spots, yeah.
And then, you know, I'm studying the roof right now, but I like to design my roofs to kind of minimize the maintenance around the building. I'm kind of thinking that it'll be, you know, like this. So maybe the trick then is just to remove the parking from this side. You got kind of the building shedding snow here and here, and then if you put the fire out there, you. No room left for green stuff if we pave the whole thing.
Yeah.
Are you guys looking at any future of like minimum LSR?
well, it's
Well-
funny you might ask.
We are. There'll be no development on any setback. And it'll go to 20, 25, and 15 on either side.
When is that gonna happen?
We're putting a packet together to sit in front of the town council. A lot of changes.
Like, next week?
No, but I mean, if you got it in before we did, then you're in. But I'm just saying, you know, it's like, it's coming. I mean, there's a lot. The certificate
It's
of-
coming, but it'll take 3 readings. So, the town council meets once a month, but they do have workshops. Sometimes they do schedule special meetings. So, it could be,
I mean, what about FAR? That's the biggest thing I see missing from the LDRs is.
Floor ratio, I mean, it really hasn't, they're talking about impervious surface.
So more concerned about impervious surface and landscape ratio than floor area ratio.
Well, I haven't even brought that up to them, so let's hope that we just stay at impervious.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, impervious and landscape are definitely linked.
Well, I mean, it depends, but if they go back to the setback thing, you know, right now, the only thing that we can find in the land use development code is like I said, you know, it's 5 feet. There's a dimension, it says, this is what you have, this is the minimum you could ever have.
No, I mean, this one had a good kind of mix of green space and paved space, and here he's trying to shoehorn a lot. I mean, that's the magic of how something's gonna pencil. I mean, I'm looking
Yeah.
at this as like a $5 million project. It's,
I'm just looking at it as, that drawing right there is all on lot 30.
Yep, yep.
Lot 30 is what, a half acre, not even a half acre.
Yeah, it's
Plus, you lose a third of the
0.47.
lot for that easement.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's unusual because
Yeah.
they got the
Because they
season,
got the- Yep.
So it's, poof.
Definitely makes a
yeah,
good
that's a
job.
big chunk.
I mean, something to think when you're starting to draft your LDRs is, you know, is there credit for, say, a green roof when you're talking about impervious surface? It's still impervious, but it's green.
That discussion hasn't come to play, it's a great call. I mean, yeah, I get it.
Another thing, I was thinking about is like, as the topography rises and you're trying to measure your max height of, what's it, 35 feet? You know, how do you measure that as the slope goes
Up
up?
from the crown of the road, here we go again.
Well, yeah.
But then she's on,
No, she's on a hillside.
Yeah, I was
so-
just
so
gonna
we're
say, there's a little bit of a
determining
hillside where
is.
that grade is.
And what's, I don't know what you guys have usually done here, and this is the whole issue of, that's another one of
Yeah,
those
yeah.
where, like, Alpine Meadows just went to the crown of the road. They said, that's it, we're measuring from the crown. And so.
So you
our-
can manipulate the grade to affect the height of your building?
Correct.
Right, okay.
So,
Just FYI, like Teton County measures it, that you can't go, if this is the scenario, you can't go more than 125% of
exactly.
the max height?
But try to swing that. With these people, they don't get it. You couldn't even draw it for them to understand that. And then they say, well, how many lots are there? We're not even gonna bother to. I've been battling it here, so I'm trying my best. I would say we could probably, is there
Well-
any place where it says the lowest piece of the property at any time in the land use development code? I don't remember seeing any of that.
we've run across this just maybe just 1 or 2 times. The guy up on the hill.
Like, in my studies, you know, we can get there by staying from the lower height and not having the roof go above relative to the lower units. And it gets tight just like, you know, you're either gonna have a flat roof or a low pitch roof to make that happen.
How does the grade get affected just on this bigger piece from
Without
here?
the L shape.
Without the L? How much grade is there?
On which piece? This piece?
Yeah, like how much grade is,
Oh.
grade is here?
Good question. Here to here, I bet you it drops like 8 feet.
Wow.
Damn.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
See, in Jackson, if you can daylight the basement, they don't take that into consideration for the height. If you could daylight it.
I mean, we could definitely use an extra foot or two on the height, just to have it more flexibility with the roof. I have one more trick up my sleeve that I wanted you to look at. Alright, so.
You gonna throw us all all your tricks?
All of them at
Hold on,
once.
take this, get the notes.
Get the notes out? Oh my gosh, all right. wrong
Alright,
notes.
so like as I'm like trying to see how he's gonna get his parking to work up here, etc., and kind of what's left over on the site after you take the 5 feet from the setback and then the 22 feet for the driving surface. What I ended up with is like an area at the upper level that actually overlapped the road a little bit, and I'll try to show you here in this section, where the 22 feet of the two-way driving surface, you know, if this is a terrible car here and there's another terrible car.
No garage, just parking.
Right. This is access road, and it would be, you know, parking off the other side of it. If this upper level were to cantilever over top of that, because otherwise it's just like, if this is his upper
No.
story, it just isn't enough
like
to
it.
do what he wants. I mean, maybe you say no, and they reduce the units upstairs, but can we overlap this with that?
Because you could, you know, if this becomes a thick wall, I mean, that's all parking.
Right.
In the grade. How's the slope, what's the slope? Is it going this way, or is it, how you doing it?
We can
yeah,
add two
yeah.
ways,
Yeah, yeah.
either just a long shed or maybe a combination of flattened shed.
Okay, so it goes one way or the other.
Yeah, so that's like,
Got it.
yeah, it's shedding that way. It's like a
Correct.
big gable that's split. Which is just, it's good for like less internal snow and water, you know, just shedding it to the sides. But in the opposite direction, I mean, that other section I was taking is like, you know, here. And I don't know how to get them like what they want in terms of their program up here unless I make the upper volume
What was that?
a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Let me see the one drawing with the two. That's not that one. Let me see this again. So is this is this?
Yeah, this is just
And
kind of
this is
blowing up.
access out and in, and this is access in. What's the width of an access road, both ways?
22.
20?
22. That's what I remember from Chris's project.
But, I mean, I like what you did in that one drawing where you cantilevered it out, so.
So it's like this portion right here, you know, the lower level is
Correct.
just kind of flush with the 22 feet, and the upper level is going over top. Again, if we see Teton County is the most regulated place in the world, I did have a project there where they were cantilevering in an alley, and there was just like a certain height requirement that they wanted for, you know, service vehicles.
I don't think
whatnot
we
to
have
go
that
through
here,
the
no.
alley.
We don't have that rule, we don't have that rule.
We don't have that. What's,
Speak quietly because I don't want to change anything.
what's the height of the fire truck, do you know?
Oh, no, the new one that we just got.
No, the ladder truck won't go up
Yeah,
there.
I don't
It
know.
won't go up there. It'll be the smaller truck.
So a normal, I don't know how high it is. I mean, obviously the ladder is taller, but.
It can't be more than 14 feet.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
It's gotta be under 13.
It's gotta be under 17, because that's,
Yeah.
14,
Yeah, it can't be more than 14.
it's gotta be more than 14.
It's gotta be more than 14?
I believe that The underpasses, any fire truck has to be able to fit underneath an underpass that's 14 feet. So I don't think it's 14 feet. I
That's
think
why I said it has to be
think might
under
a little-
14.
I think it'll be like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
So,
So maybe that's the height we need to make, you know, that.
but that would be, that's a fire chief call. What do you have there? 10?
I have 10, you know, we could work on it like as it's designed now, it's the stair here, so we could play with that a little bit and kind of crop it up here.
Is the grade, well, yeah, you're up against this other piece of property, aren't you?
Yeah, there's a house on another property, but it's definitely closer to Wooden Spur.
Yeah, Wooden Spur, here.
I get them confused,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah,
Wooden Spur.
Wooden Spur
Yeah,
and Mill
Wooden Spur,
Road.
'cause it-
You wanna come off of Mill Road.
So this house is kind of up here. Let's see, could I have a little snapshot somewhere around here?
Well, I'll tell you what, Rachel, if you can pull it all off on 30, I mean, kudos to you. I think I see you doing a full civil or just a, topography of how you can cut that. But you,
Definitely think about the loop around and if it can be done.
I just think that might be your best offer.
So in a scenario where, you know, you're the adjacent landowner, can you pave right up to the edge?
Well, Christine? Would it help you if this lot line just skewed a little? Like if he kept and retained 2 lots and he just took this lot and he cut that so where it's more square?
Straight, yeah.
Yeah, you can
So he did a lot line adjustment
Yeah,
to
exactly.
bring it to like this, is
Exactly.
what you're saying?
Exactly. Not even that much. Just, yeah, like that.
I mean, I guess what I would advise him is like you almost want to do a feasibility study of the other lot so you don't shoot yourself in the foot, you know? What's the political process for doing a lot line adjustment? I mean, is that like a 6-month public process?
It is, if you're just doing a lot line adjustment, adjusting this line, or removing this lot line, it would be classified as a simple subdivision. You're looking at probably about, depending on when you get your plat map and everything together, you're looking at about a month's time.
Okay. And
It's if you're
fees
surveyor,
associated with that?
And about $3,000.
it's $3,000, yeah.
I
And
almost-
even if you took, let's just say you abandoned that lot line, let's just, for kicks, you abandon that lot line, it's still a simple subdivision, because you can abandon the lot lines. It's when you start cutting them up into smaller lots where it turns into a minor and a major.
See, I think you could get your turn if this piece went like that. I think you could get it through.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's, I'm just, I'm
Yep.
just shooting.
And-
at the
and
hip
maybe
here,
you can
Rachel.
even do it
You're the
with the-
designer, I'm trying to.
No, it's good, it's good. I think it's definitely a possibility. Well, I mean, at that point, if you have the drive-through, you don't necessarily have to sprinkle them, you might want to anyway. I mean, it becomes a cost study for the client, where they're like, well, what's the cost of not sprinkling it versus sprinkling it and then reducing your costs in other areas?
I mean, I
He
totally-
kind of built the first one with a lot of non-combustible, like he did trusses, steel trusses, for the floor pack, even though he didn't need to. So he kind of likes that, you know, all-improved kind of feeling, which is a lot of non-combustible material, which maybe then it becomes like the sprinkler system and the combustibility of the building are kind of committed together as issues.
There's a lot of things I'm learning about this town versus, is it 5,000 square feet here?
For what?
for sprinkling?
Yeah, that's the trigger in Teton County.
Same thing?
I
like
think,
Teton
I think
County?
so it is.
And is it 5,000 feet? R2?
R2 would then kick it into the building code rather than the residential. I would have to check the code book on that.
Wait, this town doesn't have a threshold at which sprinklers are required. Okay, so yeah, Teton County is like, regardless of what the IBC says or the IRC says, we want sprinklers if it's over 5,000 square feet. You know, there's a lot of ways to build a building and not have it require sprinklers.
Rachel, if we can get out of here by 8:30, we're winning.
All right, let's give it 4 more minutes, what do you say?
No, we got a couple more things to do.
Oh.
So if we can get out of here by 8:30,
Okay, so
I'm just saying.
you gotta cut me off soon.
Okay, now, I'm not well-versed in the residential building code. However, the town of Alpine did adopt the 2021 IRC. So depending on what code you're building to, the automatic section R313 automatic sprinkling system shall be deleted in its entirety.
That's in the new ordinance that they deleted?
That's in the residential code.
Yeah, but this
What do you
isn't,
mean?
this
You're
isn't
saying that-
residential.
The town code says.
Well, that's what I'm saying, depending on how
Yeah.
she's constructing that, and I believe she would be constructing it under the IBC code, is
That
that?
would
I
be
think
right.
Christine's correct,
Yeah.
it's like once you exceed 3
Correct.
units, right, you jump to the IBC?
Yeah. It's obvious.
Something like that,
You're being
yeah,
the
I'm not,
IBC.
again, I'm not, well,
Yeah.
Totally,
You're
I-
gonna sprinkler it.
I leave that, yeah,
I think
sprinkler.
it's the smartest thing that you're gonna do. But you're in the IBC to do this because of the
Yes.
units that you have.
And then, it's a little bit of a question in my mind as to what, you know, the sprinkler code is, if it's a 13 or 13D or 13R, anyway. Well, those were good piece of advices, so you're kinda open to that idea.
And make sure, and I know there's room in there for snow storage, but make sure and leave yourself room for snow storage. We need to make
Yep.
sure we have that figured
Snow
in. It
storage
just didn't
is-
look like there was a whole
Snow-
lot of room left.
Snow storage is 20% of the overall parking.
You know, that lot line adjustment idea to me makes the most sense.
And you can also make an agreement with Lot 31 to push the snow onto.
For now. Until somebody builds on it.
Well,
Kinda
I
like
mean, but
the
it's
idea-
his,
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know, so.
Yeah, that's true.
I kinda like the idea of pushing it here. I do like the idea of adjusting it. I don't know if I like the idea of abandoning it, cause I think that in the long run,
Oh,
it
yeah,
would
it's
hurt his development potential
Sure.
if he were to combine those.
I just see it as, if you can circle through that, it makes your life a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Cuts off a couple parking spots, but we're pretty close there. I think I want extra. All right, that was helpful, thank you.
Thank you.
And,
We're always here to help.
yeah,
Keep us posted on your project.
thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time.
All right.
I'll just leave it.
Do we have,
No more?
any more comments from the commissioners or anything? I thought you were gonna leave that, Dan. Looks like you're fiddling with it.
but he changed his mind.
I'm changing my mind.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye, Rachel.
Move my stuff.
She moved your stuff?
She moved my
I
stuff.
did. I had to look through your papers.
Trying to find-
I knew you had papers.
All right,
Active permits
do we wanna-
list.
Yeah, active permits. Do we have time to go through that, Miss Christine?
Of course we have
Can
time.
we go back to the comments from the commissioners?
Uh-oh.
Oh, man. I thought we had our comments from the
No,
commissioners.
just the only part that I wanted to bring up was, what's really feasible about getting them a packet? And how much help would you need from the three of us or from me.
Okay, Sue has already started working on some definitions, so we can incorporate those definitions in there.
We have to add, I
If-
want to interject something, we have to add hardship based on your comment in the last meeting.
Yeah.
Hardship?
I'm not quite sure I understand that,
I think we were
so
just,
whoever,
So, there was the discussion of hardship versus, it was a variance question that Jim had,
yeah,
right? He was saying it was X, and I said, in our industry, it's called hardship. It would be like this lot that we were just talking about. If she couldn't make the grade, she's got a hardship. I need a variance, because this lot won't allow me to do what I needed to do.
So is it hardship versus a variance, or a
No, no, no.
hardship or a variance?
The hardship is towards the variance. Now, Jim used a different word. I don't give a rat what word you use, as long as the intent of that word, of the words, are gonna basically get you the same result. Like, what we just looked here with Rachel, she has an argument that that's too narrow and there's too much slope.
Oh, here it is, instead of a special one.
yeah,
Hardship instead of a special permit.
yeah.
That's what it was.
So when we go to a variance, if I can establish that there's a hardship on my lot, that this is unusable, I can come in and say, because I really can't use this, and I have a hardship for this, I want no zeros at that.
so in order to create an additional permit element, we'd need to identify what the criteria would be for a hardship.
Correct. And that was, the conversation didn't go there in that meeting.
It didn't.
There wasn't, I didn't have time to move to that direction. It was just, this lot could make it a hardship. It could be something that was living.
Well, and in addition, you've got that water line there,
Absolutely.
so, they're hampered by this easement, and obviously, that's how the building got pushed right into the middle on this particular lot, because it does have that water line easement, so
Correct.
that's why you had parking up over in here, and then parking down here,
Correct.
with the understanding up here, and I don't believe there is any parking right there, I think it's right here, right close to it, with the understanding that if that water line breaks,
Correct. They gotta go through it.
they're
They're ripping
they're
it
going
apart.
through.
Well, and that's, so if that was the case, it makes more sense that this is a wraparound than it does if, to stop it where she had it. Now, I would believe, if I was sitting here and she came to me for a variance, or she was coming to us for a variance, I would say, yeah, you can demonstrate that there's a hardship. And it could be another word. I don't care what the word is, but
Yeah,
if she
or
can
special use.
demonstrate that this lot is of a difficult use, she should be able to ask for that. And then we would discuss what we could give her for that. But that's the language that I was trying to explain. I didn't get a chance to.
Yeah.
Do they feel that this is something that we need to work on now? Do we feel that we need to work?
I didn't
No,
get the sense of
no.
urgency from our town council on this issue. So, but I do,
No, because it had to do with the cost of the variance, and that defines hardship.
Correct.
So, and all the fees have now been implemented, so, no.
I do believe that if we get a packet together, then that will force their hand to have to look at it and try to be a little bit more involved and help
But
us do
how
better.
soon do you want to expedite this? Because that might take a little bit
It's gonna take a little bit. for sure.
longer. I would probably suggest that we go ahead, we start moving forward with different elements in here, prepare that packet, let them have that packet.
And
Maybe this
continue on.
winter,
Yep,
if
here we go
things
again.
slow
We're
down.
gonna need at
Then
least
we
a
can
couple
work
of
on
packets
that.
a year in terms of the consistent updating of the
Mm-hmm.
LUDC. And I think we have enough for a full packet now with the additional glossary items,
Mhm.
which are
Glossary.
imperative,
I like that.
imperative
Mm-hmm.
at this point.
Sprinkled with.
So hardship referred to those fees, which is not,
Because then they'll have to amend the fee ordinance to include that new found.
and I'm
See, and I
saying,
thi- I-
Implement.
but should it really be
I
deemed
don't think,
necessary?
I don't think they need to.
Should it really be
I think
deemed
it's-
necessary?
I think it's just a variance.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a red flag by any stretch.
But I think I understand why he's saying a hardship, because the variance has those statutory requirements. I think he's trying to say, and I don't know, I didn't watch the meeting, so I can't speak
Yeah.
for him, that you're demonstrating a hardship, that you can't use your land, but it might not meet a statutory requirement.
Correct.
But at the same time, when you buy a piece of land, you do your due diligence.
Well.
In
and
theory.
now we're-
No, yeah, you're
Now
right.
we're in this place. you know?
Sorry,
Yeah,
but
no, you're right.
if you're
I
buying
did the
something, you
same
better know
thing.
what you're buying.
Yeah.
But you can always ask for the variance, and then we can have the meeting, and
Yes.
if she could demonstrate one or two different pieces, I mean, it's not on us to define it for her.
Right.
She's gotta bring those to us. If
Yes.
she doesn't bring it, then,
Yeah.
okay, you don't get nothing.
I think like we move forward with this packet ASAP, and that can be put off for the next one.
All right, I was, and the question's still, how much help are you gonna need?
Yeah.
from-
Well, if we could each take maybe like a little bit of a section,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just keep working on the glossary items and
yeah.
tweaking them
If
and
we do-
adding to them.
If we do that, then we have that, we can have it at a meeting,
Oh, you
discuss
can
it.
have us on speed dial?
Agree, read it over. Okay, this looks great. Nope,
Yep.
I don't think I like this.
Yep.
Or, and then
We're
we can
close
kind of
right now.
move forward and maybe have the whole month of July, since July is almost here, work on it July, have an idea at our beginning August meeting
I think we
for
get-
a
can we-
recommendation to go to town council at their August meeting. I just don't think we're gonna be able to pull it off for their July.
Cause we had a
meeting.
lot, I mean, I saw the packet, you had a lot already done.
Well, there
in
was a
those-
lot that we've already done, and there's a lot that we've already brought to them that they've just taken, and I'm
It
like,
was kinda, I think piecemealed, and I think they didn't like that.
I,
Okay, so
and
now
I
what you're
didn't know
saying
that.
is we have
I was
to,
thinking, let's just do,
so wait, what you're saying is we have to backtrack, put everything into one packet.
Yeah.
So that's, and why can't we jam on that since it's done and just reorganize it and get it to the next council or the next
I don't know if
workshop?
I've read everything that you guys have gone through, so.
It's kinda everything we've been talking about.
Right, but if this is something we want to have in the land use and development code, I definitely want to be able to read through it and make sure
sure, I mean,
that makes sense, right?
yeah, we have the sheets of everything that we did, and then there was the stuff that Jorgensen had asked to put in,
Yeah.
if we're gonna do annexing.
Yeah.
And then there was new stuff that we had kind of worked out.
Yeah,
and
we have talked about so
Yeah.
much.
And so she's kind of put those in. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying, if you want our help and we're all gonna take a session, maybe, not tonight because we wanna get out of here, but, the next meeting, maybe we just look at, okay, you take this many chapters, you
Yeah.
take this chapter, and we take book one, and we just go through it, and if there's questions, we start emailing and texting each other and saying, what do you think about this? I mean, I can read it pretty fast, and I can say, I can give you point X and say, okay, here,
Right.
this is chapter one for me, and then you guys can read what I put in, but, it's a lot of work to do that.
It is a lot of
So,
work.
Lot.
and I've read it once, and then I went back and I read it again, and now here I'm going for the third
Yeah,
time.
you'll be reading it forever. Maybe what we can do is try to bump it up to have something put together we can talk about it at the next meeting.
The ninth.
And then we can have maybe a preliminary packet put together for the 23rd, look it over. They're still not gonna meet until August, and so then the August meeting, we can
Submit it to
maybe
them.
fine tune whatever we wanna fine tune, and then submit it for
For the August
their
meeting.
August meeting.
Not the workshop,
But-
but the town council meeting.
Oh,
Well, they could do it on either one.
They can.
Well, they, and then don't forget it's also election year too. So basically what I'm telling you people is that on a Tuesday, I might be a little late getting here because I have to vote on the primaries. I don't know when that's coming up in August as well.
you can do a mail ballot.
I'm not gonna mail it. What do you mean? I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna vote.
Stop. I mean,
But
I
so,
I
yeah.
like this idea.
I do
I just
too.
think
Let's
it's,
just.
Yeah, let's make it,
you know,
let's make it
that's
happen.
the part of this that I want.
Christine, let's unpack this a little bit more. Do you have time for this shenanigans?
Well, I'm gonna have to make time for it.
Oh,
There's
I'm
no-
sorry, did you not need us to create more work for you to do? I apologize. Only 34 hours, is that gonna give you enough time?
Well, and remember, they're taking so many duties away from you, you're gonna be, you'll have so much time on your hands now.
Oh, that's true, you are gonna be, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
That's-
yeah, you got plenty.
that's
How are we doing?
I don't know what I was worried about.
You're welcome.
Okay,
All right.
what else we got? Can we move on, Dan? or
Yes,
do you
let's
wanna-
move on. Active permits
Okay, can we go
list.
through the active
Let's
permits,
go
or are we
through
good?
active.
Yeah, you know what?
Hang on.
There's a couple of things that I'd like to remove, okay?
Okay.
You have your sheet in front of you?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, so, page one, basically, I don't really have any comments on, so I'm gonna move on to page two.
excuse me.
I have been given the Cornelius folder for issuing a certificate of occupancy this week. So we'll revisit that next meeting. Creative Properties is moving along. As you've noticed, they did put the decking on the top of the roof. It has been inspected, so they're moving along on that. There's one of them. The Yankee Doodles re-roof, I'd like to remove that from the list.
Yeah.
That's on page three.
Page
item-
three, item three.
Page three, item three.
I'll entertain a motion
Uh,
to
I'm on
remove the
page
Yankee
three.
Doodles.
Oh, yeah, I'll make a motion to remove the Yankee Doodle Cafe re-roof.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll
Yeah,
second it.
Would be the MC-03-24.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Second one from the bottom, Tim Mattson. He has gotten his final certificate of occupancy. For that, he was issued a temporary, now he's got his final. We did charge him the extension fee, and I'd like to go ahead and remove that from the list.
Wait, can I have a question?
Sure.
Did he get that front step taken care of?
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to remove R1-08-21, the Tim Madsen, Alpine Meadows, Columbine.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 There is a note on there, the bottom, the last item on page three, Ellie Miles, the roof, add roof front porch. I don't have the final documentation, however, that is the gal that passed away. And so I'll get the final documentation and issue the certificate of completion. But until I do that, I'd like to keep it on there and then revisit that next meeting.
Absolutely. That
Okay.
sounds like a plan, Stan.
Page 4?
Page four,
John Smiley?
John Smiley. I'd like to remove him from the list.
I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to remove RE/A-01-22.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Star Valley Health is moving right along. Doug Stunz, that is a project that I'm gonna look into. That is a house that is up on the hill, if you recall correctly, and they had to do some engineering
retaining wall
for
and-
that
yeah.
retaining wall. So I'll look at that folder and see kind of what we got from that.
Okay.
And then maybe, have that available for, the Diamond
Okay.
property.
Works for me?
Town of
Yeah.
Alpine Pre-Treatment Facility. God, that's gotta be coming really close.
Well, yeah. It's, yeah. It's moving along
Perfect.
slowly.
All right. So we've gone
The
through our permits.
contract with the contractor is almost up, but there's an additional element for a combustible room that is gonna have to go out to bid.
Okay. Oh, I remember hearing about that at the meeting. Yep. All right, next one, approval of minutes for June 11th.
Make a motion to approve P and Z meeting minutes for June 11th, 2024.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, I'll entertain number 9.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting at
8:31.
8:30.
That's my job.
Oh,
Whoa. So I have a motion on the table, do I have a second?
I will second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned at 8:31.
Meeting adjourned at
Shock. Thanks, Pat.
8:32.
This is a record
There's-
breaker.
Still light out. Okay, thanks for bringing that up.
Turn it off, she says.